Okay.
It's not playground now. Come on, let's go. You act like a child.
You need to relax, man.
Let's go.
I ain't got nowhere. I ain't got nowhere. You want to stand there that big?
You're the one that's.
I ain't acting. I'm about this. I'm about this. I'm about this.
It's not playground now. Come on, let's go. You act like a child.
You need to relax, man.
Let's go.
All right, guys, what's going on? I just wanted to play the face-offs, and to everybody made weight. So that was Kieron Conway and George Liddard. They their fight is on official. Conway at 60, Liddard the challenger. Conway's the 29-year-old. He's the underdog, and Liddard is the favorite. And so I've given you my breakdown prediction on that fight. I've uploaded it to our fight predictions playlist. We could talk about that, and we could talk about a lot of fights. There's a lot of fights this weekend. Guys, before we continue, I want you to like this video. Whenever you tap in, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know where you're coming in from. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, do that. My YouTube analytics, they send me these statistics once a month, and 75% of you guys who watch my 75% is insane. 75% of the people who watch my content, live streams, and the regular video playlist haven't hit subscribe. So maybe you're watching without knowing you haven't done that. Also, check the pin link in the comment section. Johnny says boxing VIP insider membership. It's a couple bucks a month. Click that link to find out more. You'll have more accessibility on the live streams, and you'll become a member of our private boxing betting Discord. In that Discord, we have it sectioned off. I'll show you real quick. We have it sectioned off in boxing, MMA, we're launching our NBA channel. So these are the channels. So the heartbeat is boxing, but so this is the boxing channel. Over the last 3 months of us launching it, you guys have asked for hockey. So we have a hockey channel, soccer. I don't even go into some of these channels. I literally have never hit hockey or soccer. NFL, college football. This is my pick. So I just posted 2 tickets up here. This is my method of victory prop bet for the weekend. This is my 2-leg English parlay ticket. This is bet slips for you boys to put your bets in here. So more than anything, I just want to let everybody know, and then the MMA one. I just want to let everybody know that it's not just boxing, but more importantly, it's not just betting. It's a community. So it's pretty cool for me to see when I go into soccer and I see the guys sharing links and footage and all that good stuff. And you can pretty much find these side conversations throughout our Discord. It's private, couple bucks a month. Click the link pinned in that bio, pinned in the comment section, and let's get after this. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about. Also, we've added a live call-in feature on the live streams. So 3 days ago, we launched it. We're still figuring out the kinks, but you guys could call in every live stream from the 30-minute mark onwards. The only way you could call in, though, is you have to be in the Discord, and I put that link already in the Discord. So if you guys want to chat, if you want to come on for a few minutes and talk about who you like, if you want to come on in a few minutes and debate me about a fight or question why I picked something, or just give everybody a shout out, you're more than welcome to. The only way to do that, though, is to join the Discord. Adu, what's up? Jazz. So Jazz is talking about Conway looks bigger, obviously referring to, yeah, so let's pull up, I'll pull up the photos one more time. This is the videos. So they made weight. The boys made weight. I don't think size is going to be a thing. I mean, they weighed in at the same time. I think the differentiating factor is going to be experience here. It's something that I said all week. It's I don't think there's any way around it. I think it's a couple fights too soon for Liddard. I think people are sleeping on Kieron Conway. I think people are sleeping on his experience. This kid is in his prime, man. This kid's 29 years old. He's the champion, coming off a great knockout victory over Jerome Warburton. I mean, what is, and you guys could, we could do this all we want. The fight goes down in less than 24 hours. What's going to be happening and what's happened all week is that everybody is going back and forth on like who's he fought. But if you play that game, who's he fought, you got to do the other way. I mean, Conway's been in there with some good guys. Sissoko, fucking good opponent. Ammo Williams, good opponent. You know, those are two of his losses. I don't count he fought in a tournament 6 years ago and lost a 3-rounder. I mean, you really don't, it's hard to count that as a loss. It was a split decision. So Kieron Conway at 29 years old is figuring everything out. His most recent victories in this most recent version of himself, he doesn't have a high knockout to win ratio, but he's sitting down on his shots. People are like, they don't like his inside work. I disagree. The last 4 fights of Conway, one of my favorite things about his style is his body work, is his inside work. So it's just going to be interesting to see. I feel that whatever you say negatively about whatever you say negatively about Conway, it definitely speaks to Liddard. Conway, you know, who's Conway? I mean, Liddard really hasn't fought anybody. So it's an interesting fight. You give me Conway at plus money. So essentially, this is my upset of the week. Kieron Conway is my dog of the week. I think the odds are off here anyway. But if you give me Kieron Conway at plus money, we're just going to look good on this one. Looking ahead a bit, Joseph P. Looking ahead a bit. We'll get to that in a second. I want to keep it about this weekend real quick. He's talking about Joseph Parker and Fabio. We're going to keep, the first half of this live, we're going to keep it focused. We got fights in about 24 hours, like I said, in the UK. And then we have fights in Long Beach. We have Danny Garcia's fighting this weekend. There's fights all around the world. There's a card. There's a lot of boxing fights. And like Mars says, were any additional fight offerings? Yeah, man, a lot of them. I'll add them up. I'll put those on the screen real quick. Let's take a look at these offerings real quick. This Bet365, I stopped using Bet365 last night during our second live stream because it kind of goes in and out. We'll see if it's working. All right, here we go. So, I mean, there are a shitload of fights. Mars, there's something that you've been you want to talk about specifically? And the odds are shit though. They're really like, I'm not playing, guys. I told you guys earlier in the week that I've made adjustments with my strategy, with my parlays. I'm not playing any $2s. I'm not putting any huge favorites. I'm not doing a long parlay just for the sake of getting a bunch of favorites. I'm going to pick this weekend. I'm picking way less fights with a little bit more riskier odds. I've already given you one winner. We're already eating. We won $1.95. We hit in Japan. We took Yamaguchi by decision at $1.95. So we're already on top this week. 100 would have got you money back plus $95. I've already given you who I like. My English 2-leg. We'll just do it real quick. And this is in the Discord. I gave this publicly though. This is in the Discord. This is for all the YouTube supporters and YouTube subscribers who haven't joined. They're not VIPs, but everybody has to eat. Now, like I said, Kieron Conway's the dog here. So I could easily, he's already my upset of the week. The last few weeks we've hit our upset of the week. I'm not taking anybody as big as we did last week with Bilal Fawaz. We got Bilal at $3.25. Conway's $2. Liddard's $1.80. So it's literally a 50-50. I put a poll up on my Instagram a couple days ago. 1,000 people voted who's going to win this fight. Conway, 50% both sides. But anyway, I'll show you what I mean here. Take Conway. Oh, yeah. I'm not signing in. So I got Conway, money line, and I'll show you the other one. This is another one I really like. So I have this on a 2-leg, both on the same card. Conway money line and Jimmy Sane by knockout at a wow, that's insane. I took Jimmy Sane's. I put my bet in last night and I got him at $1.45 by knockout. So right now he's $1.36. So that's my action for the UK. You know, people are asking, are you betting on the girls? I'm not betting on all these fights. I'm not putting action on Shannon Ryan versus Chloe. I'm not fucking around with all these huge favorites. I'm just going heavy on Kieron in this fight. And then because the way this week, what I'm also doing is I have a long-term parlay that I've already built, but I haven't shared it with you guys yet. And it includes Kieron Conway, but it goes all the way to December. The odds are insane. So let's look at some of those fights real quick. Actually, I lied. We're gonna stick with this weekend. Follow Mike TV. What's up, Johnny from the UK? Love from Australia, big fella. Take this with a grain of salt. Shannon Ryan's opponent was trained by Ricky Hatton. Yeah, Chloe Watson. So that could give her more of a reason to go out there and win. She's yeah, exactly. And so this is something. Shout out to Breaking Bad Boxing, Nick. He's in our Discord. Follow Mike TV's in our Discord. I forget who. You know, Nick and I on Instagram just this morning. He brought this up, and I don't expect you guys to be as involved up to the minute as I am in the Discord because, you know, I have to moderate. But we were talking about Mike's point. We were talking about this about 5 days ago. So, and this is a post by, yeah. So this is a post by Breaking Bad in the Discord. I got action on the money line on Chloe 5 days ago. The odds were even way crazier based on this principle. I'm going to find out who, I'm going to give a shout out real quick. So October, like look at all the thoughts. David, like the people in this Discord are super switched on. I got to give a shout out to all these boys, man. They do their film study, they do their research. This is a healthy conversation. I want to read this. This is David. Finish my Shannon Ryan versus Chloe Watson footage. My input versus Jasmine Zapp. Had Chloe Watson beating her 6-4, maybe 7-3. I thought she lost the middle rounds and then closed the last 2 rounds. Ryan 5-5 draw or 6-4 Ryan. Both did good against her. That was a common opponent, guys. But I thought Chloe did better. Also, Jasmine versus Shannon. Shannon had a nip slip in the 9th. Also, good to see versus Kate Radomski. Both dominated. Of course, Shannon did better because she stopped her. So my point is, this dialogue in all week between Watson and Shannon Ryan has been intense. The boys have done their homework. You know, there's an emotional, obviously, caveat with Chloe, you know, having been coached, mentored, cornered. I don't know how deep the relationship is. I don't know if it was for one fight. We do know horrifically and tragically Ricky Hatton lost his battle with mental health. So a lot of times, you know, we know how close boxing matches can be. Sometimes the slightest edge gives one fighter the advantage. So it just depends on what you like. Yeah, playa. You saw that? I snuck this one in there on you boys. You know what I'm saying? I snuck this one in on you. Let's talk about it. So here's the one. I just threw this one up there. I was doing my due diligence. I did my film study on Crowder and Fernando Diaz in their last fight. Sportsbet in Australia doesn't give us an option for a method of victory, but I flipped over to Bet365 and I got one. Plus, and I actually wrote, that's a typo. It's not 154, it's 157. I mean, that's a 57% return on a single bet. So as you can tell, I've made adjustments with the few tickets you've seen this week from me. It's after, you know, so after my loss last week of putting all those dogs on the same ticket, I told you all week I was making adjustments. I'm kind of straying away for now of putting 12 huge favorites on a fight on one ticket, and also 3 massive dogs on one ticket. So I'm kind of focusing and streamlining. You know, we hit. I went heavy on Japan. We hit on just so you got. So this one, what did I get this at? Yeah. So I went heavy on this one. I gave it to all the boys in the Discord. So I took my winnings here, 95%. It was almost 1-1, right? And then I didn't put nothing really. That was the UFC. That was MMA. And then I've taken all of that and I put it here. So the 1-1, the 195 from Japan, I've doubled down. I kept it in there in my account, and I'm taking Sains by knockout at 44. Remember I told you we just looked at it. It's down to 137, and then Conway 210, and then this is a standalone bet though. And then I also like this one, 154, and then we can move on. There's some. We haven't even got to the meat and potatoes of America yet, but so you guys know where my head's at with how I'm going about this weekend. Now, will I make adjustments and change and go back to this long, massive parlay for funds? Yeah. But, you know, I'm basically where my mind is right now. It's like I'm in a 50-50 fight, and it's the 9th round out of a 12 rounder, and it's even. You know what I'm saying? So I'm biting down on my mouthpiece. I'm keeping my chin down, and I'm a slugger. So I have to stand and trade with this guy. I have to break him down to the body, and I only got, you know, a couple rounds to do so. So that's where my head's at. That's an analogy. That's a metaphor on my betting style. Hopefully that made sense to some of you boys. There's only one Ricky Hatton. One Ricky Hatton. Dude, the scenes, man. If ever you need to pick me up, if ever you need to feel good, let me just, I don't want to get flagged. I want to bring it up. The video when I think it's either he had already lost to Floyd, and he came back home to the UK, and the crowd is absolutely insane. I want to pull it up so bad, but I don't want to get flagged. Let's see. I like the Crowder pick.
Playing that tune again. Billy Graham behind him. The trainer is guiding him all the way to this blockbuster. The last few steps here of a boxing fantasy which started on the Manchester Council estate and ends in this huge Las Vegas fight against the man who is currently the best fighter on earth in Floyd Mayweather. And that title is one that Hatton could inherit tonight with a win.
Yeah, I think one of his big problems tonight, every one of his 43 fights that he's won, he's known exactly how to prepare for those fights, but how do you prepare for Floyd Mayweather? Obviously, his plan.
30,000 Brits came from the UK to Vegas.
He plays his back up. Does he have a plan B? Or will plan A be good enough?
Guys, that's before social media. Before social media, 30,000 people traveled. This guy is not only a living legend in boxing in the UK, but Manchester. I mean, he had Oasis walking him out. Like, Ricky had, man. Rest in peace, brother. All right, let's get back to work. I just wanted to throw a little, you know, You bring out Ricky, I'm gonna go straight up. I'm gonna go straight up to some content, right? What's your opinion, Alicia Bumgardner? We'll get to her in a second. Did you get Sunday's Riyadh card? Sunday's Riyadh card. I don't think so. You're not talking about the Grand Prix, are you? You talking about the Grand Prix? What specific fights, guys? Let me know what specific fights. I uploaded Danny Garcia versus Daniel Gonzalez. I watched Tommy Ranone and Paulie Malignaggi. They were talking about it, and I don't think they were aware of. Like after their show, I sent the article to Tommy because Tommy was making a case for Danny Gonzalez, and he had said something in his breakdown about he doesn't know what version of Danny Garcia he's going to get. He talked about the lackluster performance, the uninspired performance against Lara, and he didn't really mention this Ring article. This is why I feel really comfortable. This is why I feel really comfortable in the Danny Garcia bet. Is right here. I covered this yesterday in my second live stream. If a lot of you guys missed it, it's basically, and I brought this up in my Stats Zone live video. If I didn't see this interview from Garcia, I would say Danny Gonzalez is live. You know what I'm saying? We saw him look terrible against Lara. If he would have never said, "Hey, this is my last fight," if his promotional company, Swift Promotions, didn't build this card around him, if this wasn't dubbed as his love letter to New York, if the card wasn't built around him, and he also didn't say, "I made a lot of money, I still got a lot of money, the reason why I'm doing this fight, I want to end my career with my hand raised in the air," if he didn't say all that, I would be saying Gonzalez is a live dog. But he did say all that. Danny Gonzalez was handpicked. You know what I'm saying? Gonzalez's best moments, probably in 2019, him losing a decision to Chris Algieri. Rewatch it. 6'4" Chris. Some people said it could have been a draw. Danny Gonzalez fought him tough. He's not a big puncher. He's not a knockout artist guy. He's 35. Danny's 37, 38 now. Like I said, if Danny never said this was his last fight, if it wasn't promoted as his homage to his hometown, his homage to his fans, and he was still kind of flirting with the idea of wanting to become a 3-division world champion, I would be like, Daniel Gonzalez is live here. But this is his swan song. I really don't, unless you want to go heavy on Danny Gonzalez somehow knocking him out, I just don't see it happening. The type of, Garcia, in my opinion, is a Hall of Famer. We went over his resume yesterday on the live stream. He's been in there with other Hall of Famers. He's beaten, in disregard where they were in their career, you can't really control when you fight Eric Morales. He fought Morales twice. Amir Khan, he didn't always come out on top, lost some close to. Up until the Lara fight, he had never been stopped. So I think this guy, he is a 2-division world. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I put up a poll on my Instagram, and it was about 75-25. So yeah, it's I'm happy with these odds. Mandy fighting Cruz again in January. Yeah, so we're going to get into some of the future fights. I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes for any boys. Do you guys have any questions on your parlays? Do you have any questions on where you're going? It seems like by now in the week, you guys are already sort of like hell-bent on where you're putting your money. So these are the odds. Danny Garcia, $1.18. Yesterday they were $1.24. More money's coming in on them. If you could get a method of victory, wow. Let's go. $1.78. Danny Garcia on points. In terms of what this fight, why this fight card came about, in terms of these odds right here, This shit right here, 178. I mean, come on. This is a nice. I really love this bet. All right, we're gonna get cooked. I'm gonna cook something up for you real quick. Danny Garcia on points. Oh, I thought they were gonna give me chop chop by knockout. They didn't give us chop chop by knockout. Come on, man. Why not just give us chop chop by knockout? What are we doing out here? So Garcia on points. Juarez versus Rosario. I mean, this is going to be a decent fight right here. Omar Juarez, Texas guy. I think he's 17, 18, and 2. Rosario has a very similar record. This is going to be a tough fight, mate. I mean, decisions definitely in play. This fight's actually interesting. Let me see if I could experiment with pulling up another screen. Let me try to get fancy here and see if I can share 2 screens. Nope, it won't let me. I'm going to try to get newer software to where you could see my big ass head and I could keep the Omar Juarez odds and then I could have another screen. Cause watch. Cause it'd be, right now, Omar, remember this when we're going over this. So I'm going to change screens real quick, guys. Omar Juarez is the favorite. He's fighting Omar Rosario. We're going to put this on our parlay. Right now we have Garcia on points at $1.78. Here is Omar Juarez's resume. $19-2. His photo looks AI. Did they use an AI photo of my man? This shit is suspect. Don't that look AI? So Omar Juarez is 19-2, 7 knockouts, 2 losses. He's 26. I'm pretty sure his opponent is 28. We'll pull up his opponent in a second. Lost to Bartholomew Rancis. So Rancis, I'm sure you guys have heard, he's fighting Frank Martin. Frank Martin just announced his next fight. He's that's not a bad loss, you know what I'm saying? And then Michelle Rivera, who people have a lot of time for as well. Lost at the Armory. I think this was during the pandemic when David Morrell was making his name up in Minnesota. Those were some fun fights, right? Let's take a look at his opponent. Rosario just looks tough. Rosario looks like one of them dudes you got to hit in the head with like a baseball bat. And then when you hit him in the head with a base, and I've never hit anybody in the head with a weapon, only these. But like, look at that grill. It's like, bro, you hit him and then he just keeps looking at you. I mean, if looks could kill, right? Doesn't have a lot of knockouts. 5'10". So both guys, these are some solid and stout welterweights. This fight's at 47. Juarez he's listed at 5'10", 5'11". Juarez is 26. Rosario's 27. So you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a tough fight. Juarez has lost to Elijah Flores and Angel Ribera. So, and I guess his nickname is New Era. And Omar Juarez, is Omar Juarez the lightning bolt? So anyway, are you showing the long parlay this week through December? Mark, all right, I'm being super honest with you guys real quick. I'm just being honest with you. On my long parlay, it goes all the way to December. The odds are insane. So it's kind of like, I think I'm going to wait. Look, all I'm going to say is I have Conway. I want to double check. I think I have Conway on that long parlay. And if Conway loses, I wasn't gonna share it. But if Conway wins, you guys already know I picked Conway. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just being honest. It's like if I share it now and Conway loses, I not only lose my 2 leg, but my long parlay's dusted. So I got to take care of my ego of it, right? We can't give away all things. Read. I think it's I interviewed a guy once on my podcast named Robert Greene. He wrote a book called 48 Laws of Power. And one of the laws of power is don't give away too much. It's also in The Art of War by, I think, Sun Tzu. And you don't give away too much. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Actually, maybe I didn't. My long parlay. Yeah, I have Conway on it. So it's, dude, the odds are freaking insane. It's 16,000. It's a 9-leg parlay. You guys want to see it? F it. I'll share it. Yeah, what the hell? We'll go over it. And you guys could cook me. I mean, it's a long. Now, this is it, guys. This is a different method. Before, back in the day, my long parlays were like the amount of legs. This now has to do with. I was learning from Chilltown. You guys know in the Discord who TJ is. Yeah, I've interviewed him. He's a buddy of mine. I've interviewed him like 3 times. Robert Greene. You can hear those interviews. Guys, I used to just interview entrepreneurs. I've interviewed Gary Vee, Grant Cardone. I've interviewed Lewis Howes. I think there was a time where I was interviewing a lot of these sort of entrepreneur motivational guys in like 2016 when nobody was interviewing these fools. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote a book. Peep game. Hold up. Okay, so my latest book called The 24-Hour Reset, which is a fitness book. So this book was published in Australia. This was the one that just came out. This is called The 24-Hour Reset, right? But this one I got published in New York City, called Ungoogleable: The Success Secrets of Modern Day Giants. And my style of writing is I interview people. I write about, how I set this one. I write about how I set the interview up and what I learned. Chapter 10. So Robert Greene's in my first book. And I called this chapter The Affirmation. And yeah, so we all have our own journey, right? We all have our own journey. I moved to Sydney when I was 31 as a bartender. I finished grad school and was just bartending. And when I moved to Sydney at 31, I'm 43 now. I said I was never going to bartend again. And then I just revisit, anyway. Yeah, the 50th law. Let's talk about this long ass parlay. That's the book I've been waiting for 2 months. I don't see, this is insane. So just let you know, Bum, it's my publisher. The publishers are suspect. But hold on, stay here. You know what? I'm not gonna get it out. So when this one came out, they sent me like 30 copies. So I do have 30 copies, and what I'm doing is I'm launching a new level 3 to our memberships. Everybody who has access to the Discord is either level 1 or level 2. Level 3 is going to be a fitness level with, in the first, I think, 25 people who sign up to the level 3 is going to get a copy. You're just going to give me your address and I'm going to mail it to you from my books. But if you ordered online, that's through my publisher, mate. So I apologize. But yeah, we'll get, these are all side chats. It's kind of cool that you guys don't know this about me, because a lot of the people who know me, they don't know that I do this, which is crazy. All the people in my life who know me, they know me as Johnny, the published author, the guy who interviews people, the strength and conditioning coach. I don't even know if my mom knows I do boxing content. So anyway, we'll have a look at this thing. I'll show you what I took. This is the long parlay. Now, it's going to force me to sign in. Let's see if it lets me sign in. Oh, I'm not about to show you fools my password. Well, I'll go to Sportsbet to do it because it doesn't require me to sign in. All right, here we go. I'll show you what's on my long parlay from this app. So it's 9 legs, and the first fight starts tomorrow, and then it ends with. All right, let's add these together. If you guys are playing along, you guys playing along? Y'all didn't see the password, fool. I didn't even type that joint in. All right, so I'm taking Kieron Conway. So these are all money line picks. This goes from now until the end of the year, okay? And I'll post this when Conway wins. I'll post it in the Discord. Okay, Kieron Conway. This is just for this ticket. And these aren't even my official predictions. This is just a ticket. So before you guys, I'm taking Fabio in this fight. Just so you can see what these are building up to. I'm taking Jack Catterall. I'm actually taking Connor Ben. I picked Eubank Jr. in the first fight. I think Connor has a lot more adjustments he could make in this fight. So I'm taking Connor Ben. And, there are somebody asked GAR. I'm picking GAR to win, but I'm not putting him on this ticket because the odds are too wide. I'm taking Brian Norman Jr. I'm taking Dalton Smith. So that's 5. I'm taking Nick Flaz over Tiger. So that's 6. I'm taking Gavin Gwynn over Cameron Vaughn. That's 7. I think I got 2 more. I'm taking Liam Cameron over Troy Jones. That's 8. So Flaz, Conway. Flaz, Conway, Worley, Cameron, Catterall, Ben, Norman, Gwynn, Dalton. How many is that? That's 9. Conway, Wardley, Catterall, Norman, Dalton, Gwynn, Cameron, Ben. Yeah, and the last one was Ben. Connor Ben at 260. All right, that's 9 legs. This is a long parlay. Long as hell, boy. This is that long boy. I already put my money in. I already put a bet on this though, by the way. $10 gets you 32,000. So there you go. This is my long parlay. I mean, there's a reason why $10 gets you 32,000, but it's kind of fun, right? It's kind of fun. Don't be putting rent on this. If you put rent on this, what's $100 on this joint give you? $100 gets you $320,000 back. I used to call it a long. Why you call it? I used to call it a long parlay because the bet slip was this long. Now I'm calling it a long parlay because of the long shot. $100 gets you $320,000. Let's go, motherfucker. Brendan, what's up, boy? How do you feel about RDR versus Brendan Allen? I gotta be honest with you. Let's look at these odds. I became an RDR fan when he beat the brakes off my boy. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So this is my old podcast, by the way, and I'm getting to your question. How do you feel about RDR? And I'm gonna answer your question here real quick. So you know who Rob? That's Richard Dawkins right here. So remember I told you I used to interview a lot of people. Richard Dawkins is like a well-known. He's like an atheist evolutionist. Me and him got into a debate. He believes in single cell evolution, that we evolved from a single cell a long ass time ago. Phil Dar, give me a second, mate. Here we go. So, this guy, Ong Lan Song, is a buddy of mine. Ong Lan Song, if you and I were to go to Myanmar, Yangon, Myanmar, the capital of Myanmar, they have a 20-foot bronze statue of Ong Lan Song. Ong Lan Song at one time was the 2-time 2-division world champion for one. He was the light heavyweight champion and middleweight champion. This guy's fault. He is a living legend in Myanmar, which is the largest country in Southeast Asia. Rest in peace to Rumble. Rumble was a buddy of mine, man. I haven't looked at this podcast in years, man. That's me and Gary V, me and Rumble, me and Fred the Godson. Fred the Godson's a rapper, so I used to interview rappers. Give me a second. That's me and Tony Jeffries. Anyway, RDR was in one, and he beat Ongla twice, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, who is this guy? And people sleep on RDR. He could grapple, he could strike. He's a Dutch. When you think about a Dutch MMA fighter, you're thinking like Dutch kickboxing. You know what I'm saying? Like Ramon Dekkers. You know, Ramon Dekkers wasn't a MMA fighter. He was a kickboxer, but he kind of encapsulated that Dutch style. And people, I think, don't do enough tape. I think people are finally doing enough tape on RDR. Derridier is a goddamn savage, dude. So I like RDR in this fight, just to be honest with you. Yeah, nobody. Look, PJ, nobody wants to be a self-published author. And this isn't me dogging self-published authors. In the space of writers and journalists, you want to be published. You want a publishing company to publish your work. So yeah, that's why I say I'm a two times published author. Any anybody could self-publish. You just put it on Amazon. So no shade. I'm a published author. Where is that all? Yeah, this podcast on Instagram. Go. It's called Ungoogleable. But give me a second. That's me and Hoist Gracie. Me and my boy Kelly. Let's click on this.
But anything kept us, and I didn't let a fan, you know, we were talking about that a little bit on my podcast. You use the fan when you.
A bit of an echo. I'll lower that. That's Kelly Pavlik there. It's me and Grant Cardone. I don't know if you know that fool. He doesn't really have the best. I guess he's turned into kind of a con artist. But I don't know if you know this guy. But anyway, we did the long parlay. Me and Laird Hamilton's in my book. This guy invented big wave surfing. I'd rather just go the distance. I'm trying to find the Ongla. There we go. I found it. So the guy on the left is Dr. Corey Peacock. He's the head strength scientist. This was back in the day when they were called Kill Cliff FC, but they used to be the Black Zillions. They were called Sanford MMA. I think they changed their name again. And Dr. Corey's a friend of mine, and that's Ongla and Song. And that's them posing with my book. And it was probably one of the coolest moments of me being a writer because I didn't send that to them. They went to the store and bought that. And just doing this with you boys brings back a lot of cool memories, man. But as you can tell, at one time my podcast was like everything, and now I put all my energy that I put into writing books and into this. So this is just my next thing, just so you know. I'd rather just put it, will it go the distance for Connor Ben? Let's talk about it. You got to realize, man, Connor is a smaller guy. Okay, I could educate you real quick. I know Cardone very well. He's a grifter. What he is, though, this is a little. I don't even know. Like, I don't follow Grant. When I was interviewing these guys, it would have been 2016, almost 10 years ago. Grant is like, you have David Miscavige, the head of the Church of Scientology, and then you have we got Luca. Luca, you want to come on? All right, we're about to exit. We're about to bring on someone. Luca, what's up, buddy? So somebody has entered the chat from our Discord. Luca, you want to talk? Okay. Remove from stage. So I thought we had somebody popping in from our Discord, but he doesn't want to talk. So let me know if you want to talk, brother. Comment, Luca. Put a comment up and let me know what you want to talk about, and I'll bring you on because I see you here waiting to pop in. That's all the dogs. What are all the dogs, brother? So we're going on 51 minutes. We got Luca in the chat. I don't know if your mics aren't working, but I got you set up, brother. If you want to come on and take advantage of our live feature, rock and roll, bro. So where were we at? You said Connor goes the distance. We have to remember this, though. What's this? Good. Comment. Okay. So somebody talked about Connor. It must have been up here. I'd rather put Connor Ben. Will go the distance. I think it will. But that was just a money line parlay. You know what I'm saying? I think it's trending. The first fight was so close as well. How'd you get the link? I wish you guys could see this chat. Today unrelated, but I think Canelo was Crawford's best fighter. Still one of Crawford's easiest wins. I think so too. I think so too. Mike. Crawford, look. Crawford was exceptional. Crawford was exceptional. I shared this. Let's see if we can find it. Who would have shared it? The Ring? I shared on my Instagram story 2 nights ago, Mike, and it was an aerial perspective of one of the exchanges of Bud versus Canelo. And you really got to see from that God's eye view, that overhead perspective of what Crawford, the brilliance of what Crawford was doing. Because, guys, we all only get to see the fight like horizontally as it's playing out. They put up a view of the fight overhead. And overhead, you could see both men's foot placement. Crawford just sliding slightly out to counter. Like, it was gorgeous. So, yeah, I agree with you, Mike. Still one of Crawford's easy. He handled him, bro. Mike, right? You're a boxer. You're getting ready for a fight. I'm sure you're going into your fight. If I were you, that, like, I'm going to go in and handle this dude. This. Check this. This is what I was talking about, Mike. Look, this perspective. Watch Bud here. You see that? Just slightly exiting out, coming back in. Exit counter. In the pocket, counter. Gorgeous exchange this is. Especially he's in there with Canelo. Canelo, you know, and people talk all this trash on Canelo. He never quit fighting. I don't care what people were said. Like, even Canelo, Bud was just better. Sometimes you go in there, guys, and your opponent is just better. Crawford was just better. Look at him teeing up. Look at Bud's mastery of his front foot. Watch Bud, how he's able to keep his front foot on the inside, right? I was talking about this in a breakdown. So Bud is fighting him southpaw here. The reason why there's a front foot battle going on is because Bud wants to line up Canelo with his backhand. Look at those hands, shoe shining in the pocket, not getting hit. Canelo now is just trying to survive. This exchange here, man, this shit right here, I agree with you. Taini Ola Deji. Yes, I'm going to put that up in the Discord. I'm going to put it up in the Discord. Stand on bit. What a great name, by the way. What a great name, by the way. Stand on Biz. What's good, Johnny? I read an article. You think Liddell stays undefeated due to pressure and damage. Same amount of knockouts, but less fights. George Liddard versus Kieron Conway. I don't think so. I got Conway winning this fight. Stand on business. I think it's too much too soon. I think that Liddard. This is Liddard's step up. This is Liddard's opportunity to see where he's at. Kieron Conway is no gatekeep. Conway's the champ. Conway's in his prime. Conway is getting better. Every time we see Kieron Conway, he's adding to his game. So that's my take on it. Stand on Biz. You can check my breakdown. Go to my fight prediction playlist, and I just posted it. No? Do you really think Wardley's going to get off that? No. I'm just putting him on that long parlay, mate. See, this is where you got that. And just because I put that on my long parlay, it's a Hail Mary. That doesn't even mean I'm picking. Those aren't my official locks. I gave you a long parlay with Wardley on it, but when I do my Stats Don't Lie video, that doesn't mean I'm picking Wardley to beat Parker. Do you understand, guys? Do you understand? You got to be malleable. You know what I'm saying? You can't be so rigid in your belief systems. And I'm not even trying to get so esoteric on you. You can't be rigid. You got to be malleable. Yeah, it's crazy. Crawford stayed southpaw. He never needed to adjust or go into his bag of tricks. And never did he look hurt. No, he didn't. And you know my favorite thing about this, about Crawford's performance, was like if we were to watch this whole fight from rounds 1 to round 4, and then you see the adjustment, the adjustments Bud was making after about the 3rd to 4th round. I think it was the end of the 3rd or end of the 4th. He landed a big shot. The adjustments were his distance and then his risk taking. He was measured. The game plan was executed perfectly. There's one thing, guys, with having a great game plan. There's another thing with being able to execute that. And you started seeing Bud get closer and closer, rounds 5, round 6. And then I think this is round 9. You just start seeing Bud just stay in the pocket because he already tasted Canelo's power. He had Canelo's timing down. He had his distance down. And he knew he couldn't get hurt, and he knew he was the more skilled guy. And this is mastery stuff right here. And what people are going to do is they're going to downplay Canelo. They're going to say Canelo was overrated. They're going to say Bud fought an old Canelo. So whatever it is, people are going to always, in boxing, continue to move the goalpost back. But at the end of the day, facts are the facts. And this performance here, Bud Crawford was mastery. I put this up. I did a video on this. So what do you guys make of if you notice this is Brian Norman Jr. Notice Norman's techniques here. You know, granted he's just hitting the heavy bag, and but no, he's switching stances. He's fighting low. I'm seeing, look at my man. I mean, is he, and at 24 years old, you know, if Xander never beat Chino, we would have he would still be the youngest champ. So yeah. He ain't playing, is he? Brian, dude, you gotta love when I talk about Brian Norman Jr., you guys have heard me say he's a throwback. He reminds me, like, everything from like his hooks to here, he reminds me of a little mini Joe Frazier. And we can't not talk about Bam. So this is a fight that I'm gonna obviously break down. This guy's one of my favorite fighters currently. He's one of my favorite champions, Bam Rodriguez. He's fighting Puma. If you've never seen Bam fight, dude, you are in for a treat. This kid is a joy to watch. His fight style, how he operates, his devotion to the game, his body punching, his technique, how he listens to his corner. This kid right here, man, I mean, he's what, 25, 26 coming up? I mean, I think this is still at 15. He's not a big dude, though, so a lot of people want to see him move up to 18. And the thing is, if you're looking at the ladder of, like, this era's great champions, you have this sort of ladder of weight classes with Bam at 15, Junto at 18. Junto said he's moving up to 22, and then Monster. So anyway, so it's pretty interesting to because in my head, I know everybody wants to see Junto. I want to see Junto fight anyway, but then I also want to see Bam fight Junto, and I want to see Bam fight anyway. So in a perfect world, man, we would have like a tournament, but you know that's not going to happen. But like I said, if you guys are unaware, I mean, I have a pretty educated channel, and this is a pretty educated chat. So I'm pretty convinced everybody knows who Jesse Rodriguez is. But if you don't, if you've never seen him fight, he's fighting soon. Joy to watch. So yeah, guys, we're a little over an hour in. I'm going to we're gonna cap this in a second. Mar the Prince. Dude, if you guys are still here an hour in, I say thank you. You guys are beasts. Thanks for hanging out with me. We're going to go live again today, and I'm going to upload one more Stats Don't Lie video. It's my Friday morning. It is 8:20. I'm not going to go just yet because there's still 30 to 40 people in here. But I do have... I'm going to give you another breakdown. Damn, my chat's going insane. You guys are wild. I'm getting text messages. You guys are messaging me on the private chat here to come on, but I'm about to show you what this fool's saying real quick. And which one of you guys shared the link, man? By the way. Who is this fool? Oh, you guys can't see this. There's a dude trying to come on. There's a dude trying to come on right now. Somehow got the link, but he's obviously not in our Discord. He's just talking shit. So I'm wondering how he got the link. And he's not an insider. That means that when I shared the link in the Discord, did one of you guys share it with your friends? That's suspect if you did that, guys. So, boys, the only people who have this link are the Discordians, the JSB insiders. One of you guys in the Discord shared the link with some fool, and now they're trying to get in. That's suspect, man. Nah, nothing like Ticketgate, boy. Ticketgate is where it's at, baby boo-boo. What do you mean you're waiting for others? Don't let me... Dude, Ticketgate just died out, boy. That boy Carlos deleted his accounts. Carlos was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Maybe it is Muslim. From this point onwards, we shall call him Carlos. Linkgate. Yeah. Linkgate is pretty funny, boy. Linkgate. I don't know, man. Ticketgate is pretty popping too, though. Victor out here sharing link. Victor, you about to get... Don't get banned out here, boy. Don't get banned, motherfucker. I ain't never banned nobody. You will get banned. It wasn't me. That's basically saying, what's up, homie? I shared the link because I like starting shit. I know. Somebody gave the link out. That's so weird, man. That's so... I guess I trust you guys too much. I mean, because the boys in here pay for this. This is VIP shit. The idea that somebody would share that with a troll is insane to me. Because, let's see, I'm going to type his name in here. If this dude is in here, I'm going to be shocked. Nope. Yeah, no. DJ Green, holla at your boy. We're trying to figure out who shared the link, DJ. I got a troll on the far. I got a troll trying to get into the chat named Luca. I try to bring him on. Should I bring him on, guys? Because he's in. Comment below. Because Luca's waiting to come on. Should I bring Luca on to see what he says? I'll bring him on. Say 1 for yes, 2 for no. If I get 5 yeses, Luca's coming on. Yeah, DJ, somebody shared the link, and now I got Luca, who's sending me private messages talking trash. 1, I know, we should. Luca, you ready, baby boy? Give me 1. All right, we coming. He's coming. 3, 2. Add Luca to stage. Do you see him? Luca, what's up, boy? Talk to us. How'd you get the link? Come on, Luca. How'd you get the link though? I'm interested. Put your source on blast. Bro, just type, comment right here how you got the link. You literally are on live. See? But how would he, guys, for real, how would he have gotten the link? That means that somebody in there shared it. At least you guys know that, anybody could come on, boys. PJ, come on real quick. PJ, somebody come on to show him that it's not scary. All you guys, you don't even have to show your video, PJ. You can just have your audio. I get that. I'm doing it right now. But at the same time, the links refresh. I'm trying to I do a new link every time. Oh, so you're saying that he just saw it, screenshot it. Okay. Controversy solved. I'm a retard. No offense to the retards. I understand now, History Vault. Sorry, Luca. I'm going to apologize to Luca. So what Luca did was just, I guess if you're trying to grab shit. Damn, I probably should be a little bit more interesting. I gotta be that. I see what happened. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what happened. Okay. So then to avoid this, I just don't show the Discord then when we're live. Or I leave it in the I at everybody. And then if you guys want to come on, I could send it again. All right. Actually, Luca, thank you. Because if anything, I just learned something from Luca. So I'll bring him on to just say thanks. Luca, thank you actually, because you just taught me something. You probably got you just copied it from the live on-air screen. I apologize to the Discord boys for accusing you. And Luca, hats off to you, man. You actually taught me something, so thank you. I love you, Johnny. I didn't know that. This is a learning process for me, man. I don't know shit about technology. Why didn't you chat? All right, guys, I'm about to wild out. I got to get out of here. I have a lot to do today. I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay up.